Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Nosebleed Section. I am your host, as always, CEO Joe. I am joined by my co-host, as always, Paulinho. What's going on this Thursday evening, Paulinho? How you feeling? How you feeling?
What's up, everybody? It's been a while. It's been a while. We are back. It's been 5 weeks.
Yeah,
Y'all
yeah, I'm gonna
miss us
say.
yet?
I say we do apologize to everybody. We haven't done one in a couple of weeks. We've been trying to stick up and stay relevant and consistent with the Giants podcast, but me and Paul's schedules have been rough. Paul's been doing stuff as far as work and his family. I've been running around with football, high school football, like coach football as well, and it's life got in the way. Life gets in the way. But we are back tonight with another section, with another podcast, another selection Thursday. As you guys are probably watching Amazon's Thursday night game, I'm not, to be honest with you. I'm watching the SMU versus Tulane college football game, which is about to go to half. But let's get into our picks for the week. Let's see what we're looking at as far as week 11 NFL season. The last time we left off, the landscape of the NFL has changed dramatically, like dramatically since week 6.
Un poquito.
Uh, hey, New York looks like we look like the best team, the best state in football. To me, I'm just saying,
Hey,
the Giants are seven.
that's including Buffalo too, because
That's
we
what I'm
don't
saying.
usually include Buffalo.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like that's like Canada light. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I'm just saying the Bills are 6-3, the Jets are 6-3, and the Giants are 7-2. I'm just saying like that seems. I
And
think the best.
wait, and we beat the Bills too, though.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You definitely beat the Bills too. So, and I for one, I was surprised. I will tell you that I was surprised, but I will give you guys your kudos for pulling that game off. I won't say it was a fluke. I won't say it was upset or anything. That was a hell of a game by you guys. Well coached, good play calling. Like not every play is gonna work. We all knew that, but you guys played a hell of a game. You guys had Josh Allen rattled. He was seeing ghosts out there half the time the way he was throwing the ball. I don't know what was going through his mind, but y'all had him y'all had him running early and often. That front seven is a problem on the Jets, man. Uh
Yeah,
well,
we've been holding our own, and I'm starting to get I'm starting to get the feeling like this is reminding me like back the Rex Ryan days when literally our defense carried us and helped us and carried us into, as we know, back to back AFC Championship games.
mm,
And there was a stat that I saw earlier today, second year of Mark Sanchez compared to second year Zach Wilson. And numbers is eerily like similar if you look at them. So I'm gonna read them out. So sophomore year, Mark Sanchez, completion percentage 54.8%. Zach Wilson 58.7%. QB rating, Mark Sanchez 75.3. Zach Wilson 75.5. TDs per game, Mark Sanchez 1.06. Zach Wilson 0.67. Interceptions per game, Mark Sanchez 0.81. Zach Wilson 0.83. Yards per game, 205.7 for Mark Sanchez, and Zach Wilson comes in at 200.3. I mean, they're really close. And then if you look at it, where do we go with Sanchez? We went to 2 years back to back AFC Championship games. If our defense holds up and keeps playing like the way they have, like we literally could do it. And Zach Wilson has to become a game manager and less of a gunslinger. If he
yeah,
can do that, I think we'll be okay. And I know a lot of Jet fans are upset and like, hey, we spent a first round pick on this quarterback, and like I get it, we did on Sanchez too. With quarterbacks, it's a hit or miss, and you just don't know. Like you hope the best for them. You really do. But also comes down to what situation that quarterback's coming into. I mean, look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen, me and Jay had this conversation. I was like, Jay should pick Josh Allen. And Jay goes like, yeah, but Josh Allen going to the Jets would have been the same Josh Allen going to the Bills because the Bills were better equipped and set up to mold and build Josh Allen than the Jets were. They had a better QB staff of coaches than the Jets have. And the same thing goes for a lot of quarterbacks. And another thing too is that my thing is I'm kind of old school where if you draft the quarterback in the first round, you need to let him sit for a year or two, the most 2 years, just so he sees what's going on, and then you start him. But unfortunately, because everybody wants to win now, and especially the fans, there's no patience for that. There's no room for error on that. But yet, when the kid comes in straight out of college, maybe after a year or two, kid's not even legal to drink yet. Team and hope that he can win you, get you to the playoffs. Like again, kid's not legal to drink yet, and you're asking so much from him. Like look at Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers sat behind Favre for like 2-3 years, and look what he's done. He's done pretty good. He's kept the Packers relevant. So there's that. I mean, and then what do we have? We have some trades that's gone down. We have injuries. What else has happened since we've been off the air for 5 weeks?
I mean, the Jets added Laurent Duvernay Tardif.
Yeah,
you guys signed him back today. The Eagles are just like the Eagles are playing Madden with no salary cap on.
They just signed Dominic Sue. Like I said in the chat, I'm gonna laugh if they do all this. They get a first round bye, but get eliminated in the divisional round.
Like they got Ndamukong Suh today, and they got Linval Joseph yesterday. So I mean, the fact that these guys are just going out and just spending money on people while they're sitting here, like I said, that it was a game against the Commanders. We know there was a lot of missed calls. There were some blatant things that that happened, but you still lost by 11 points. So, I mean, it's tough to blame it all on the refs. Jalen Hurts didn't have the best night, but I mean, at the end of the day, like I just don't know where the Eagles are coming with all this money. That's my main thing. Like I don't know where they're getting all this money from.
You got to think about it. They're taking advantage that Jalen Hurts is some of his rookie salary.
Yeah, it have to be. These have to be 1-year deals between Sue and Linval. Linval's 34 and Sue's 35, and they're both probably getting. I'm not gonna say minimum, but I'm not gonna say minimum deals, but I'm gonna say they're probably like 4 to 5 mil, maybe they're 2 to 3, somewhere around there, maybe 5, 6, 7 at the max for a year. Because Ndamukong Suh don't come cheap. Linval might come a little cheaper, but I know what Ndamukong don't come cheap. So I don't know where they're getting all this money from. Like you said, gotta be taking advantage of Jalen Hurts' situation that they're gonna have to eventually pay the guy when his contract runs out. But they're probably gonna have a couple, like a good amount of 1-year contracts coming off the book. So I don't know. We gotta get to these games. We gotta get to this pick'em slate. See what we got. It's our first matchup on deck. Oh my
quick.
God!
Teams on the bye: the Bucks, the Jags, the Seahawks, and the Dolphins.
Okay.
And, all right. Speaking of tonight's game, we are not watching the game, so we're literally giving you what we think is going to happen tonight. Joe, who you got on this tonight's game right here?
It's not a catch, but I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm watching this SMU Tulane game. That's not going to be a catch, but oh my God, that was disgusting. In this game, I was gonna go Tennessee in this game. Like I like Aaron Rodgers impacted with the Cowboys last week, but it's like Packers are good for one of those. The Packers are good for like they haven't been good this year. They've been losing. They lost to the Giants. They lost to the Commanders. The Cowboys didn't have a good game last week. The Packers are still a struggling team. They let go of some pieces. They did get two major pieces back on the offensive line tonight. But defensively, I don't see them really being able to slow down Henry. It is in Lambeau, which is the one thing that I will give them, and I think they are currently winning 7-6. I want to say, but if I'm being honest, I was going to take the Titans. I'm not going to switch up my pick now, so I will go Titans on this one.
I'm also gonna go for the Titans only because I believe Derrick Henry will like tear them apart, and I have the Green Bay Packers secondary, like they're two DBs on my roster among my fantasy teams. Like, okay, so I'm in two leagues, and in our league that we switched up, I literally switched it up from team defense and individual defensive players because it makes
first time I ever did that.
It's more interesting because of the fact that like you're looking at individual players, so now you're not getting points because you picked the best defense. You're looking for individual players to help your team. And I did it last year. I'm like, oh, this is actually better because you're not holding on to that one team, and you know what I'm saying. You know, you get individual players. You can build your team individually on the defensive side instead of.
It was very different. It's very different. I'm not gonna say it's bad. I'm just not used to it. Like, but I will say that it does help that like if you're number one running back or number one receiver or whoever it is, or you have a weak receiving core or whatever, you can make up for it with a good linebacking core or a good secondary or something like that. So you could have a linebacker to giving you 14, 15 points a week that can make up for maybe that weak running back core. Maybe like one of your running backs goes down, you got to pick up somebody else, and he's not giving you points. So, I mean, it tests your knowledge and everything about who you know and who to pick up. So, like I said, it's not a bad thing. It's just different. I'm not used to it, but
once you do it, you won't go back.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that.
Because it makes it fun because like when we have you have 12 guys, right, playing fantasy, so that's 12 defensive teams you're taking. Like, and then you're gonna have, unless you say no benches for the defensive teams, literally you're gonna have somebody's gonna stash two really good defensive teams on their roster.
Yeah.
You know? So all right, next game. We got the Bears at the Falcons.
All right. Bears, Falcons. I'm gonna go Bears on this one, actually. I'm gonna go Bears on this one because I know it's in Atlanta, but Mariota is proving inconsistent, which we all pretty much knew was gonna happen. He was gonna have whether it's a first half of the season or second half, whatever, fall off. He ain't proven to be that guy. We knew he wasn't really gonna be that guy. I see them either pulling him soon for Desmond Ridder to see what Ridder can do, or if Ridder's going to start next year, they're going to let Mariota walk. The Bears are playing their best brand of football right now. I honestly, as a Giants fan, I'm happy we're not playing them now because the outcome might have been different. Justin Fields is throwing for like 200 yards a game, and he's rushing for like another 130 or 140. So I think he's ripped that. I think he's ripped that off in the past like 2 to 3 weeks. So I mean, I'm not going to say like Chase Claypool's been this number one dominant guy, but he came in, he's gave them a little bit extra to their offense. He's an extra guy for them to guard because again, other than Darnell Mooney, I don't know who the number two receiver was. So now they actually have a number two receiver. Now they actually have a number two receiver. They have Mooney. Cole Kmet's there, and he's actually stepped up his game and become a pretty major piece to that offense. So I'm gonna go Bucks on this. Even though they traded like two major pieces on defense, that's why they give them a lot of points per game, trading Robert Quinn and Roquan Smith. But they got pieces back, and they're gonna just rebuild that team. So I'm gonna go Bears on this one, though.
All right. You ready for this one? Do you believe in Justin Fields?
More than Marcus Mariota.
No. Do you believe this is Justin Fields going to take over the league? Do you believe this is a Lamar Jackson 3.0?
No. I didn't say that at all.
Do you believe he is a Randall Cunningham type quarterback? All right, here's a better question. Because this is going out to all the OSU fans. So I'm putting it out to you, my boy Keith over in Ohio, Magaha, my boy Dal over in Memphis at the moment, Ebony Love. Is Justin Fields the quarterback you want on your team? Is he going to break that mold? Is like what we've seen from him the last couple of weeks, last few games, is that the truth? Is this it? Like, are we starting to see the Justin Fields that everybody wanted to see? Or is he just taking advantage and had good matchups that he was able to take advantage of, and literally, like, we saw what we saw?
I don't know, to be honest, but I mean, right now he's playing his best brand of football. Like they said, like he can't keep that up over a 16 or 17 game basis. He can't sit here and run for 150 every week because he's going to start taking hits. Look at Lamar. He's going to start taking hits. He's going to start, like getting knocked out of bounds. He's going to start laying into him a little more. And then maybe I'll risk a penalty here if it means slowing you down next run or next time you decide to try to touch something. So I'm not saying he's gonna be like a world breaker. I'm not saying he's gonna be the next Michael Vick or Randall Cunningham or any of these other receivers. He's not gonna be that guy. I'm not saying that at all. But what I'm saying is like over the course of the past 2-3 weeks, he has played some really good football. And I don't see it really stopping with Atlanta. Like you're gonna go to Atlanta, that's fine or away, but what's to stop him from all congested? What's to stop him from throwing for another 200 yards and running for another 100 yards? There's nobody on that defense of Atlanta that really scares me. There's nobody on that defense that really is like we have to really game plan for. It's really gonna hinder us. So it doesn't really surprise. It's not really gonna. It's not saying anything crazy to me that like this is like a major game for our defense. Like it's Atlanta. They're not really that good. So like I said, I'm not saying he's going to sustain this over a 17 game season. I'm not saying he's going to throw for 3,000 yards and run for another 1,500. I'm not saying that at all. But I do think he's playing the best we've seen him play since he's been in the league, and I think he's going to roll into Atlanta. He's going to come out with W. Are you taking the Falcons on this? Is that what you're telling me?
I am taking the Falcons on this one. And here's the thing. If he doesn't hit the wall this week, he will hit the wall next week.
Then he hits the wall. Hey, I'm going one game at a time.
Do you know why I say that?
Who they got? The Jets?
Exactly.
All right.
So
and I hope then you guys will stop them. Maybe the next week we do a fantasy show, then I'll pick the Jets. I'm not mad at that. Play your matchups.
Yeah,
play
so
your
we'll see. The thing is, it's not that I don't have faith in Justin. It's the fact that he has no weapons. He has no weapons. He really doesn't. Like Darnell Mooney was his weapon, but that was because last year was effective because he had another receiver next to him, and he had other weapons around him where he could use that Darnell Mooney. Because those weapons are no longer there, the defense could literally focus on defending Darnell Mooney, and Claypool just shows up when he shows up. Unfortunately, he's not consistent at the moment where you can count on him to be there.
Not at all. Not at all.
You know, if he was consistent, then that would open up Mooney for single coverage. But until he becomes consistent, Mooney's going to see some double coverage here or there. And literally, Justin Fields have to pull it down and just take off when he has that lane. It's just throw it up and hope they catch it.
Next, what we got?
All right, next one. The Panthers at the Ravens.
I was just talking about Lamar Jackson. I'm going Ravens here.
Baker Mayfield is back in this game.
Yeah, whatever. I'm going Ravens on this one. Like Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar Jackson's going to have a decent enough game. I'm not saying it's going to be some crazy game. I'm not saying it's going to be a shootout. I think the Ravens should win this game. The Panthers aren't good right now, and it all starts with the quarterback. And the quarterback play, you've played what 3 to 4 different quarterbacks this year. They're just not consistent enough. So
yeah.
I'm not looking at the Panthers to win much of any games going down the stretch. So I'm going to pick the Ravens here. I think Lamar will have a good game. The Ravens are only thing is the Ravens are just lacking. He missed, 49-yarder. And the one thing is that the Ravens are like we just talked about. The Ravens are lacking a receiver. They're just lacking a receiving threat. They're just like the only receiving threat is Devin Duvernay because I believe Bateman's injured again. You have your tight ends. The Ravens always have good tight ends, but you need somebody on the outside. You need somebody like Devin Duvernay is a burner for sure. They'll take top off the defense and everything, but like other than just throwing Hail Marys every third play, like what else are you gonna run? So you have him, and then you have Isaiah Likely, you have Mark Andrews, but I don't know. The Ravens got to find somebody that's consistent for him because you had Hollywood Brown, you traded him, and Hollywood Brown is coming back this week. He's designated to return from IR this week. We'll talk about that when we get to the Cardinals, but I'm gonna go Ravens on this one. But the Ravens are gonna have to figure out something to do going forward in the future because you see teams are slowing Lamar down now. Lamar ain't doing 200 yards passing and 150 running, so they ain't doing it like that this year. So the Ravens are going to find something out. But I think they'll be fine this week.
Yep. Good luck to all you Lamar Jackson owners over there in fantasy football.
This guy is the worst. It was those 5 weeks off. I should have never let you have those 5 weeks off.
I'll take the Ravens as well because of the fact not only are the Panthers literally playing QB carousel during a season, but they literally traded CMC. And yes, he has injury issues, but you still can't take the fact that when he's on the field, that man's a problem. We got Brett here watching the Panthers with the upset of the year.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. Brett's calling the Panthers. Okay, we'll see that one. I don't. Who's Baker going to throw the ball to, bro?
DJ Moore, I guess.
Yeah, been running the ball better. I mean, granted, yes, the running back is healthy. I mean, but still, like CMC is a problem. Like, look at the Niners. They're just
but see, like they're running the ball better, but then they brought you don't know who the runner's going to be every week because right now they have they have Foreman, but then last week they had I didn't know this week they think Chuba Hubbard is back. I don't know, and then like the Ravens are going to just key in on the run and force whoever's playing quarterback to beat them with their arm. Yeah, Terrace Marshall's been inconsistent and banged up, so I'm not counting on him. If you're gonna put Terrace Marshall and say beat me with Terrace Marshall, I'm gonna like my odds. Like
no,
I'm gonna like my odds.
The Panthers,
you should have named DJ Moore for Terrace Marshall.
The Panthers are literally like in rebuild mode. They literally just
they're not even rebuilding yet. They're still tearing it down.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We got to tear it down first and rebuild. So they were in fire sale mode. Now they're just like, okay, grind it out now.
Yeah, I get Deontay Foreman and Chuba Hubbard, but who's throwing the ball, Brett? Like, who's throwing the ball here? Because regardless of what quarterback you type me. Well, I don't know how many people are watching this podcast, but we're going.
That's funny.
Leave that up there for the rest of the podcast. Yeah, whatever.
All right, so we both got the Ravens in this one, and yeah, it might be a close game, but the Ravens are going to take it. Put it that way. You're the QB right now, Joe.
Oh, then we have a shot. We have a good shot on the quarterback. Like,
All right, next game. All right, this game got moved from Cleveland to Detroit because of the expected snow that they're going to get. And my boy Keith, who is in Cleveland already right now at the moment because he lives there, told me last night they got 16 inches of snow.
yeah, it's bad. This flash storm emergency, winter storm is ridiculous, and it's coming across the whole East Coast, and it's going to hit parts of New York, and I'm not ready for it. I don't want any part of this. I don't want it snowing right now.
Oh, that's right. Quick interruption here. Congratulations to the West Orange football team, Joe Anderson, and the rest of the staff. He's not the head coach, but he's our very own Joe Anderson, Mr. CEO over here, for winning the sectional regional championship.
Appreciate it. Colts beat Eagles. Bailey, right. You are a savage for that comment. Jesus, what a hot take. Screenshot that and put that up. I like that, Bailey.
I'm leaving this up for a little bit.
Yeah. Shout out Bailey Savage for the podcast tonight. I like that. Sorry, Brett. Sorry, like you're old news now. Colts beats Eagles. Wow. Yeah, leave that up.
All right, so Browns versus Bills in Detroit. So now the Browns are going from a home game to a neutral field game against the Bills.
I mean, oh, I love it. Bailey, do you have a response for Brett? I mean, Josh Allen should play, so I'm gonna go Bills here, but the Bills have been showing to be human lately. So now, if there is an upset this week, I won't be surprised if it's this one. I won't be surprised if it's this one. If there is an upset this week, like the Bills are playing some good football, but people were game planning for him. Like the Jets had a hell of a game plan for him. Josh Allen's elbow's all messed up now, and like I said, they went in. They've lost a couple games now. Yeah, the Bills need to run the ball, but they don't really have a running back that can really run between the tackles for me. Like I believe either Zach Moss is either out or he's just been ineffective. They have Devin Singletary, but Devin Singletary is 5'7", Brett. He's not. I mean, he can run between the tackles, but it only takes one. It only takes one, and that kid's out of there. And then they have James Cook,
who they're starting to gain confidence in.
Right, right. But again, he's not an every down back, and he's not a between the tackles running back. Like
he's smaller than his brother.
Yeah, exactly. He's smaller than Dalvin. We saw it when he was at Georgia. Like he's going to catch passes out the backfield. He's going to run outside sweeps and everything. He's not running the ball 25 times a game. Like, and that's why a lot of Bills fans were sick. They were pissed off with Jets fans because they wanted Breece Hall. They wanted a running back they could, slam. They can give the ball to 25 times a game. They wanted. That's what they had. Marshawn Lynch. They had Fred Jackson. They had good run games. They had bigger backs that could do that. They don't have that right now. So, I mean, you have great receiver weapons. Like, yeah, we don't fault you for that. Like, I agree. They should have been a better play for it. I agree. But I mean, at this point, like you can't really do anything about it. Like you're right. They should be throwing the ball 50 times a game now. Especially they probably can't with Josh Allen's elbow being banged up. So I mean, yeah, you have Stephon Diggs, and you have Gabe Davis, and you have Isaiah McKenzie, and you have Dawson Knox. You have your people, but at the same time, like teams are going to sit. Like if you're going to be not a threat on the ground, teams are going to play 7-8 in coverage. and be like, if we could hold you with a 4-man front or even a 3-man front, like then you're in for a long game. So like I said, I'm going to go. I'm cautiously taking the Bills here, but like I said, if there is one that I won't be surprised that is a quote unquote upset, it's going to be this game, especially since it was moved to a neutral site. So I won't be surprised if the Bills like lose this game. I really won't. Paul,
I'm taking the Browns. Damn it, the Browns.
I knew it. I knew it.
Taking the Browns.
I knew it. You were over there itching.
The Bills have been exposed. Exposed, I tell you.
This man has been waiting all night for this.
I've been waiting 5 weeks for this.
Yo, no more vacation.
Pent up. And I got the World Cup coming up. Oh shit! Y'all in trouble now too.
No more vacations for you. No more vacations for you.
I got the Browns on this one. The only thing I need to figure out is what they're doing with Kareem Hunt. Is he's getting less touches on the ball? Is it on purpose? Are they trying to like kind of isolate him and kind of play him off? Like, doesn't make any sense right now. So this game is interesting, and I'm gonna keep an eye on this one. Because they need Kareem Hunt to be effective on the offense. Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb both playing equal roles. We might give the ball to Chubb a little more, but when you play them both, they play well, and the offense tends to move a lot more. If you tend to focus more on Nick Chubb and the passing game and take Kareem Hunt out, you're literally hurting yourself and shooting yourself in the foot. The Browns just need to let Kareem Hunt play. They try to trade him during the season and before the window closed, but everybody was like, well, no, you're not going to re-sign him, so we'll just pick him up as a free agent. That's what it came down to. They're trying to get him for the Browns trying to get him for something. They weren't trying to lose him for nothing. And I don't blame them. But if you have him right now, just use him. And I get he might be upset because he's not getting paid. Come on. You're trying to win. You're trying to win. So
I mean, shoot. It's like like Brett was just saying, like the Bills should have traded for somebody. Like the Bills, Brett, what do you think about the Bills trading for Kareem Hunt? What do you think the Bills would have got when and got Hunt? I think that would have been a good running back he can run between the tackles, he can run outside, he can catch out the backfield, and he can do pass pro. I think that would have been a good pickup for them. I don't know what it would take, or I don't know what it would take to get him, but I mean, I think that would have been a better. You went and got 3 running backs to me in the same mold. I feel like Zach Moss and Devin Singletary and James. So I'll say Devin Singletary and James Cook are like the same back, and then Zach Moss is a little slower because I believe they're all like 5'7". I think Zach Moss is 5'9". The other two are like 5'7", 5'8", and they're all like 200 soaking wet. So I mean, like, I don't know. The Bills really changed the philosophy. They went from running the ball with like bigger backs like Fred Jackson and Marshawn to throwing the ball 50 times. With
Zach Moss is
Josh
5'9".
Allen. That's what I said. Zach Moss 5'9". The other two are what, 5'8", 5'7"? I believe Singletary is 5'7". And I want to say James Cook is around the same. So
Singletary is 5'7".
Yeah. Like you got the same type of back. Zach Moss.
James Cook is the tallest one of the 3.
What is he?
5'11".
Well, with cleats on, sure. All right, I'll give you that.
But here's the thing: he's 5'11" at 190, though. Like,
like, I mean, listen. Unless he's like going to be turned into the next Aaron Jones, maybe. You know, I don't know. Like that's. I mean, it's they have a good offense, but it seems like they've really abandoned the run the past couple of years, honestly. Since they don't have a back that can really go for those short yardage plays, they kind of abandoned the run.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt's 5'11", 201 pounds.
He's a bit bigger.
That 20 pounds makes a difference, though.
I'm about to say he's got a bigger frame altogether. He just looks like a bigger, more well put together running back than any of the 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
All right. You sound like Bills fans.
Next one. Jeez.
The game of the week. The game of the week right here, baby.
I'm surprised this is not on Amazon Prime.
Oh my god, yeah. This is definitely an Amazon Prime game.
This should have been an Amazon Prime game.
This is definitely some Thursday night football right here. This is quality football at its finest.
Oh man.
You gotta pay extra to watch this one. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna go Commanders here. I'm just gonna go Commanders. Yeah, yeah. I'm going Commanders on this one. Yeah. Hey, the front seven, the Commanders front seven. I've been saying this. I feel like everybody's been saying this for the past 10 years. The Commanders front seven is never a joke. Never a joke. If you have Jonathan Allen and Deron Payne and Montez Sweat, now Chase Young's coming back. Like they're a rookie linebacker, Jamin Davis is starting to flash. Like their front seven is never a joke, and it always keeps them in games. Their offensive line is solid. Their running backs by committee, McKissick and Brian Robinson and what's his name?
I mean,
Gibson.
They are 500, so I mean, you can't.
And the Texans have one win, so like I can't like. Are we really surprised we're going Commanders here? Like, if you can look, the Giants don't have. I'm you know I'm a diehard Giants fan, but the Commanders front seven is better than our front seven, and we got after Davis Mills early and often. We had like 4.5 sacks, I believe that game. So if we're getting after him like that, I believe the Commanders D line is going to have a field day. If they get Davis Mills, I actually have to remember that I'm not playing him in fantasy this week. I might just take him out. But I don't. It's a 2 quarterback league. I hate it, and I don't really. I didn't want to pick him up, but I had to. But I'm going to go Commanders here. I think it's just going to be too much. I think it's going to be too much on Davis Mills, and other than Brandon Cooks, who don't even want to be there, like who else are you throwing the ball to? Nico Collins is okay, but other than Brandon Cooks, who just don't want to be in Houston anymore, and I don't blame him. Who else are the Texans throwing the ball to?
Brett said Eric said the Panthers are going to win 24-21.
That man is probably that man has us blocked. He's not even like he's not even listening to us.
No, that man has a Kyrie alert. It's the messages are silent unless Kyrie or the Nets are mentioned. Once you mention the Nets or Kyrie, ding.
Yes, he comes flying back to the chat.
Yep. Or if like Kyrie just hops in his head because Kyrie lives like rent free in his head.
Yeah, I don't.
But reel it back in.
Yeah.
I agree. I'm going with the Commanders because the Texans they're just.
So why you give me a hard time? I said Commanders. You were like, really? Like
because they're the AFC East team. It's like me picking the Dolphins. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
I feel like I made a good argument.
No, you did. You did. I'm just saying, like, I'm just giving you hell. All right. The next game. Bailey Savage, if you're still watching, we got you. Bailey said the Colts over the Eagles.
Bailey. I can't trust you, Bailey. Can't trust you.
I mean, I get it. Maybe we saw something. There's something in the tape with the Commanders beating the Eagles. Maybe somebody saw something. Maybe he saw something like, hey, if the Commanders can do it, maybe the Colts could do it. But Shaq Leonard is done for the season. He just had back surgery. I think they lost somebody else too for the season, or he's he's out for this game. I can't remember. But as much as I'd like to agree with Bailey, unfortunately, it is the Colts, and I will have to go with the Eagles.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go Eagles on this one. Like I said, again, as much as I'm a Giants fan, I don't want to see any success from the Eagles. Ever. I'm gonna have to go Eagles on this. I think coming off of that 11-point loss to the Commanders, ruining their perfect season because they're 8-0. I think they're going to come in and they're going to try to take all their frustrations out on the Colts. Whether it be Matt Ryan or Sam Ellinger at quarterback, I think they're going to have a long day because that front seven was already. Well, I want to say the front seven was good, but obviously they had holes because they gave up 152 yards rushing to the Commanders. Um, their front seven was good. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and said they had an off game and they got game planned well against. But again, like we were just referring to, they definitely just signed Linval Joseph and Ndamukong Suh in back-to-back days. So that interior D line has been shored up. They have edge rushers. They got some solid linebackers that can play behind them. Um, so I see the Eagles coming in and wrecking shop on defense and on offense. I think Jalen Hurts will have a solid enough game. I think AJ Brown will have a good game. So I'm going to go Eagles on this one. What we got on tap next? What we got? Ooh, the floor is yours, sir.
All right. I know we lost the first one. And the worst part was a home game. I know. It sucked. I hate losing to the damn Patriots, especially Belichick. I hate it.
Mm-hmm.
We're having a great season, 6-3. It wasn't expected. We're literally over 500. Some people, Brady Quinn, said we weren't going to win anything. We're 6-3. We can beat these guys. I know we can. This goes out to y'all Patriot fans. Y'all need to chill, relax. I know y'all got the first one. Y'all beat us in our house. Now it's our turn to beat y'all in y'all house. This is a big game because of the fact that the AFC East standings are literally like that close. Dolphins are our first 7-3. They have a bye week. We're tied with the Bills at 6-3, and right behind us are the Patriots at 5-4. Literally, we could get some breathing room from them if we beat them this weekend. If we beat them on Sunday, we go 7-3, and they go down to 5-5. I don't remember the last time the Patriots were just at 500. So this is a big game for us, no matter what. I think they're still sticking with Mac Jones. I don't think they've switched out to Zach Bailey yet. Really, Brett? Oh wait, that's Coy Toy. Sorry, Brett. My bad. I forgot Brett's watching the game. Really, Coy Toy. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna mute you. I'll mute your mic. I'll mute your mic just for saying
that. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
I'm sticking with my game green. I still got my Jets. And the defense we trust.
I'm going Jets. The Jets got this game. You guys got this game. I don't hate Belichick because we beat him twice in the Super Bowl, so I don't hate Belichick. But I think you guys got healthy. Your O-line's still, in flux because you lost some pieces there. But your defense is getting healthy. You're getting pieces back. Garrett Wilson looks like he's going to be a baller. The big thing that sucks is Breece Hall and AVT aren't going to play, or they're out. But, other than that, I think you guys, especially coming off that Bills win, you guys could beat the Bills. I think you should be able to beat the Patriots. Again, just like y'all got after Josh Allen, I think y'all should be able to get after Mac Jones. And Mac Jones can't move like Josh Allen, nor do you have an arm like him. So, one thing I will give Bill and the Patriots is that they will game plan heavily for your front seven and everything. They will game plan for that. But I think I'm not going to say the lack of weapons the Patriots have, but the inconsistent weapons and the inconsistent quarterback play is going to be the determining factor as far as them not being able to pull out this W. So, like you said, They came to MetLife and beat y'all. I think y'all going to Foxborough and you beat them. So I'm going Gangrene on this. I got you.
Rams and the
Uh,
Saints.
this is another candidate for Thursday night. This is ugly. Like
This is like a London game. It doesn't even deserve to be here in the States.
this is a Germany at 9:30 in the morning game right here.
Pretty much.
Like if I didn't have my own stuff to do Sundays, then I wouldn't even get up to watch this one.
World Cup's coming around. Like I don't really no. Sorry, I'm good.
Yeah, like I'm waiting. I'd rather watch World Cup previews than watch this one.
Oh, Sunday's the first game of the World Cup. What are you talking about, bro?
Ooh, yeah, I'm busy Sunday. We have the not to get too far off track, but we have the group semifinal game Sunday at 2:30 against PCTI, who we lost to. So we're looking for a little vengeance there.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'll be doing that. Who's the first game of the World Cup?
Qatar and Ecuador. I think they're at 10 in the morning.
Interesting. As far as this game, I'm gonna go Saints. I'm going Saints on this one. The Rams to me are just like Rams to me. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with these guys.
They got the Super Bowl hangover.
Yes, but no. Like
and
because the Bengals.
And Cooper Cup is out at least
Yeah,
4 weeks. 4 weeks,
he's
and after that it's like pending.
I'll say, but I think Cooper Daniel might just be done for the season. But like even before that, like the Bengals had a Super Bowl hangover, and they even win. They lost the first game or two. Like the Rams just aren't good. Like that, at this point, I'm not giving you the benefit of the doubt saying in week 11 or whatever it is that you have a Super Bowl hangover. You don't get hungover for 11 weeks. I'm not doing that. I'm not giving you that.
So there's different types of hangovers. There's that hangover the Bengals have where like you wake up, your head hurts, like, oh shit. You take 2 Tylenols, you drink water for the rest of the day, and you good with the Gatorade bottle. You good. That's the Bengals. The Rams Super Bowl hangover is the type where like 2 Tylenols and Gatorade ain't gonna do. You're laying in bed for the rest of the day because you use that messed up. That's the kind of hangover the Rams got because it's so bad that Super Bowl hangover. Matt Stafford reverted back to Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford. That's how bad.
The Bengals have a hangover. The Rams are like in the hospital getting their stomach pumped for alcohol poisoning. Like that's how bad it is. Like they're in the hospital unconscious. Like half of them are like in comas. That's how bad it is for them. Like stomach being pumped for whatever else they were drinking, and I don't know. Like this is bad. It's ugly. Like there's no run game. The O line is awful. Matt Stafford, like you said, is just flat out sucks. Like, and you were literally you have Allen Robinson on the other side of the field, and I don't know if that man's caught a pass in like 5 weeks. Like, then you had Ben Skronik and other little pieces. You had Cam Akers who didn't see the field for forever. They were just force feeding Darrell Henderson and whoever else they had the ball, getting the ball to. Like I said, the biggest thing that really killed him also was not replacing Andrew Whitworth. But when you just trade away, and this is why I guess a lot of people see that you don't trade away like all your draft picks, because when you get rid of all your valuable assets of your draft capital like this and just try to go all in, this is what happens. Like you're millions upon millions of dollars over the luxury tax. I don't believe you even have a first or second round pick in the draft for this year and maybe even the next. Like, and you're an aging roster. Your offensive line's old. Your quarterback is old. You don't run the ball a lot. You were forcing the ball to Cooper Kupp every other play, and now Cooper Kupp's out. Matt Stafford was out last week. I don't know if he's even going to play this week. So who are you throwing the ball to, and who's throwing the ball? Like, and we were talking about the Saints. We were going to talk about the Saints and who's throwing the ball for the Saints. Shoot, I'll take Dalton or Jameis over whoever. Like John Wolford, love the guy, great guy when he was in the AAF, I believe. Like that lasted a year, but come on, like he had one great game. I think he played against like the Seattle. I think he led him to a win or something like that. But like, come on, man, these guys these guys like it's almost time to blow it up. Sean might be Sean McVay himself might be a casualty of that, but it's gonna be time to blow it up soon for the Rams. It really is. Like you can't just keep trading away all your most valuable assets of draft capital week after week and year after year, and being like, oh well, we don't have a draft pick till the fifth round, but it's cool. We'll just draft this one guy. Like it doesn't work. But yeah, you got your ring, great. You got your ring, great, and now you're gonna have to blow it up and be, millions upon millions over the cap. But when you look at a team like the Bengals, who didn't just trade their way to a Super Bowl, they're in a better position, which is why they look the way they do. We have a three-headed monster at receiver with Boyd and Higgins and Jamar Chase. They let Uzoma go, and they still have good, decent tight end production. Like Burrow's back to being Burrow. Mixon is just carrying that team. The offensive line looks a little better than last year in the Super Bowl. The defense is playing well. It's the reason the Bengals where they are, the Rams where they are. Like, sorry, but
Not sorry.
you're going. Your team sucks, and you're going to the Seattle Superdome, or you're going to New Orleans. I'll take the Saints.
I got nothing else to say, except for the fact that um, Matt Stafford regressed back to the Detroit Lions. Matt Stafford. I'm picking the Saints.
That was my hot take for the night.
And the floor is yours now.
Look, to me, they're. I'm not gonna say there isn't much to say. Detroit's coming into the MetLife. The Giants are 7-2, bounce back after the bye. The Texans were, I will say, probably the perfect opponent for us to get off the bye, to get us back in the rhythm. Um, we had some things that I didn't like. Play calling was a little repetitive at times. They start sniffing it out, but Saquon is leading the league in rushing for a reason. We ran the ball 43 times last week to only 17 throws. Daniel Jones has been playing great this season. Look, his numbers aren't there. He's not throwing for 4,000 yards and 45 touchdowns. He's not doing it. But he has I want to say over 1,500 yards passing, and he has 7 or 8 touchdowns. I want to say throwing maybe a couple more on the ground. Like he's managing the game. He's being smart. He's taking care of the ball. He's not turning it over. I'm probably jinxing the hell out of us, but I want to talk how I'm going to talk. Saquon pounded the rock 35 times last week to the tune of 152 yards rushing on the ground. And I see probably the same game plan coming because outside of Lawrence Cager, who we thank the Jets for letting go because we had to pick him up. We want to keep him in New York, keep him in the family. Lawrence Cager getting us a touchdown last week. Wandale Robinson is a question mark to play this week because he didn't play. He didn't practice yesterday. And the funny thing is, this is I think Kenny Galladay's first time seeing the Lions since he came to the Giants. So is Kenny Galladay gonna even play? Is he gonna like, oh, my hammy, my knee, my ankle? Is he gonna just like sit out and just be like, yeah, I don't want to see my old former team? Or is Galladay actually gonna catch? Or is he actually gonna catch a pass? Like, let's not go crazy and say he's gonna get a touchdown. Will you catch a pass this week? Because two passes were thrown to you last game and you dropped both of them. So are you going to catch a pass this week? Or are you going to get benched in the first half again? Are you going to step up finally? Are you going to do something? So that's really where I'm at with this. Like, we're going to continue to pound the ball with Saquon like we've been doing. Saquon hopefully should break 1,000 yards this game. He's at 931 yards right now, 9 games in. We have 8 more games. Saquon's on pace for damn near 1,800 yards rushing this year. Am I saying he's going to get it? Maybe. But he's on pace for it. If he has another game like he should, add a touchdown or two on top of that, defense can play well, we should come out with a win. The Lions are a tough team. They're a tough out. They are a tough out. I'm not going to slack on them or sleep on them. I'm not going to look past them until next week. The Lions are a tough out. They almost beat the Eagles week 1. It's 38-35. So I think we'll win. But yeah, you're right. Oh my god. The line you pick the Lions. Oh, it'll be a close game, but I'm sticking with my boys. G-Man all day. Paul.
I, I look Saquon. I think their linebackers are still hurt. They have some injuries there. So when you're playing the Giants, the last thing you want to have is injuries in your linebacker core because of freaking Saquon. They might not tackle him. You just hope for them to contain him or slow him down. That's it. Saquon is looking back like he was before his knee injuries, which is great. You know what I'm saying? That's why I didn't understand what people were saying last year. Trade him, get rid of him. Like, dude, when somebody has a knee injury, you have to give them at least 2 years. An ACL is not going to be the same after a year. The player literally just got their feet from under them and just came back. They have to see what they feel it out and see what they can do with, that's why I don't, when anybody has an ACL injury, I ignore the first year and I see what happens the second and third year. Because the first
And
year,
you could see him. Sorry, because you could see him last year. You could see he was scared to run because he was scared
yeah,
to blow that knee out.
yeah.
Sorry.
And it's all right. Because when you're any kind of player, right, that your ability is to run or movements is your main stuff, like agility, you're gonna be scared to blow your knee out again because you already missed like a year. You don't want to miss another year from that. And we've seen that happen to players in many sports. Like the last one, look at Klay Thompson, tore ACL, comes back literally in camp, tears his Achilles in the same way. Literally gone for 2 years in basketball. Being gone for 2 years in basketball is a lot. Now he's trying to come back after 2 years, and now people are talking like, "Oh, he should be gone. He should be back on." It's not going to happen. But going back to this though, Saquon's looking back to the player everybody thought he was going to be coming out of Penn State. And if we're going to get rid of him, I would have taken him in a heartbeat on the Jets. He grew up a Jets fan, and I don't think he stopped being a Jets fan. Jets still have a place in his heart, as we grew up loving. He has a place in his heart for the Giants because that's who's drafted him, that's who he's playing for, and he literally just stayed home. So he's got love for the Giants, but like has love for the Jets. I will pick the Giants because I think the Eagles linebacker corps having some injuries is going to hurt them. And I think Saquon's going to have a big game. A big game in this one. So
I hope so. What's on that? What we got? We gotta be almost done.
this is another Thursday night game.
Oh my god! Like, yo,
I have Derek Carr on my fantasy team. I'm trying to trade him, but like nobody wants him.
nobody want him.
I know. I mean, I've given him up in trade offers to people that have Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback, and they still don't want him. And they still don't want him, bro. They'd rather keep Ryan Tannehill than get Derek Carr. I'm like, come on, bro, it's Derek Carr. Like,
you don't get a bag of Funyuns. That's about it. That's about all you're gonna get for Derek Carr. A bag of Funyuns, half-eaten Funyuns too. I'm not even giving you the whole bag. I'm opening that bag, eating half of it, and I'll give you the rest. You're not getting nothing for him this year. And the Raiders keep losing weapons. They Hunter Renfro's down. They got. You still got Devontae Adams, but teams are going to probably double team him, and they're going to key on him. Waller's not playing. Foster Moreau's been their next best and biggest tight end. They have another tight end behind him who I forget too, who's been doing a little something, but nothing consistent. And then other than that, their second other receiver changes like every other week. But right now, everybody's saying it's going to be Mac Hollins. So, I mean, unless you're asking Mac Hollins to beat you, I don't know. The offensive line play has been a little better, but then, Josh Jacobs has actually been having a good year, and they declined his fifth-year option, so they're going to let him walk after this season. And they picked up Zamir White, the other running back that traded off time with James Cook from Georgia. So, I mean, they have limited weapons, and teams are going to force Derek Carr to beat them with everybody else. They're going to try and neutralize Devontae. It may or may not work because Devontae still has he's still Devontae Adams. He's still gonna he's still gonna get touches, but is it gonna be consistent? Because you saw 1 week he goes off for 126 and 2 touchdowns. Another week he has 1 or 2 catches for 20 yards. So, and the Broncos, not for nothing, have one of the better defenses in the league. The problem is the Broncos have one of the worst offenses in the league. So, Jesus. So, to be honest, it's gonna be this is a kind of a toss up of a game to me, but it's like a flip a coin, and if I flip a coin in my head, I'm just gonna go with the Broncos on this, just because I just don't believe in the Raiders, and people are calling for Josh McDaniels' head after 1 season. And these guys just keep releasing draft picks that they just had. These guys have probably had to have had the worst draft classes in the past 5 years because they released like entire draft classes. It just I don't know. I don't know.
And they
I'm gonna
had
go out on the. I'm gonna
and
go take the Broncos on this. That's
yeah,
all.
and they had what's his name that was supposed to be like a guru in the scouting department. What's his name? He was at NFL Network.
Ooh, oh Mayock, Mayock
Yeah,
gone.
yeah, but like none of his draft picks panned out at all.
No, no, because he
None.
reached on all of them. Like I remember the year. I remember the 1 year we were sitting here. I think me and Benji were, and we think we were doing the draft we were covering the draft, and I think we were talking about we wanted to get Cleveland Farrell at like pick 17. Actually, the pick that I wanted us to take Cleveland Farrell, we got Dexter Lawrence. So, I'll take it. But that pick, I wanted us to take Cleveland Farrell at 17, and the Raiders took him at 4. Like, and then Mayock literally said, like, we're going to surprise some people in this draft with some of our draft selection. We were like, yeah, you didn't lie. You surprised the whole world. You took Cleveland Farrell at 4. And then they went back and got Alex Leatherwood, and Leatherwood's been, a bust too. So, I mean,
They
like,
reached
he,
for, like you said, they reached for a lot of the draft picks. There was no need. If you're
yeah,
gonna do that,
David.
just trade back, trade
I
back and
mean,
get more
like
draft picks.
David Arnett's gone. Henry Ruggs is gone.
Well, Henry
Lynn
Ruggs is
Bowden.
not their fault. It wasn't because he didn't play. It's because
Oh,
he did dumb
yeah,
shit.
I know.
It's like the other guy that corner or defensive back. What's his name?
Well, I was saying David Arnett's gone. Ruggs is gone. They released Jonathan Abram. Uh,
Because they couldn't trade him.
yeah, Leatherwood's been a bust so far. There's somebody else I'm forgetting too. Oh, Lynn Bowden. Lynn Bowden didn't even see a game in the Raiders uniform. They traded him before he even played a game for him. Like they just I don't understand it, but
They traded for Khalil Mack and then they traded him out.
these guys traded Khalil Mack and then complained they had no pass rushers. I'm going Broncos just because I can't cheer for that product. I can't I can't cheer for incompetence. So I'm going
Here's
Broncos.
I saw an article that was saying how apparently not Derek, Russell Wilson was still using like uh, what's it called, hot routes or some kind of calls that he was calling on the audibles that was still from like the Seahawks playbook, which was causing confusion when he was called for
Yeah,
audibles.
I saw that today too. Somebody said like somebody quote unquote doesn't know the calls, like, so they don't know the signals and signs. I saw that too.
Yeah, so I'm like, damn, that's not good. And if that's the case, that explains the issue with the offense. And if it is true, um, then Russ needs to clean that up and figure out, get it back on page because Russ is having one of the worst seasons of his career, and this is not the norm for Russell Wilson. And we were
Which
saying, like in the offseason, the Broncos literally needed a quarterback in order to get them past that hump. And we all thought, like Russell Wilson being in there, and you have Herbert, and you got Derek Carr, and you got Pat Mahomes, like AFC East, AFC West is stacked in quarterbacks. This is going to be like a shootout, and numbers are going to be outrageous. Next thing you know is Derek Carr and Russell Wilson have been like duds. You know,
even the Chargers haven't been playing that well. I mean, they're like I think they're 5-5 or 500 or maybe one a game above, but we thought the Chargers were going to be like dominant, and they just I mean they had fallen on a lot of injuries as far as Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, and
mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah,
Eckler's even missed the game, but like
yeah.
Herbie hasn't been Herbie this year. So I mean, it's not just them. It's like that whole division. Like Mahomes, I know Skip Bayless was. I hate Skip Bayless with passion, but I know he was saying that like Mahomes has cost the Chiefs 2 games this year. So I mean, the whole division is just kind of down. It
Yeah,
just
with
surprised me the Broncos how the Broncos are bad. Like you
with
got
with
Cortland
Justin.
Sutton, Jerry Judy, and Hamler. So
Yeah, with Herbert, I can see it when you lose your top two receivers at one
in
point
the
at the same
line,
time.
and their line is horrible.
Yeah, but I mean, like if you have two receivers, just throw it. If two good receivers like Keenan Allen and Mike Williams, you throw it up, they're most likely gonna catch it. But when they're both of them are gone and your line is just having issues, it's like you're just in trouble. Like your two safety blankets at wide receivers are out, and at one point they were both out at the same time. I think Mike Williams is coming back. I'm about Keenan Allen. Um,
They both been out the past like 2 or 3 games. I want to say.
yeah, but I know
So
Mike Williams is coming back. I think he's questionable. I think for this weekend.
I think Keenan is too, but it's just like they
Yeah,
were they had like Delon Carter and Josh Palmer were the receivers, and I mean Josh Palmer's not bad, but he's definitely the number 3, you know.
yeah, and you're making him
So
number one, so it's like,
yeah, like I understand their struggles. They got hit hard with injuries,
mm,
but like a team like the Broncos, like I said, the
yeah,
offensive line isn't bad. You have 3 good receivers.
yeah.
Your only downfall to me was your running game because what's it called?
Javante
You
Williams got
started
hurt.
yeah, Javante Williams went down early in the season, so but that can't I mean I don't want to say it can't be enough to derail because it can, but
I mean, when you trade for a quarterback like Russell Wilson, he's supposed to be able to carry that and like help you with
exactly.
that. But it doesn't
Exactly.
help though where Melvin Gordon, who is a good back, but just has an issue of fumbleitis, uh, is
It's
the number
another
one
point.
back. It doesn't help. You know what I mean? Because even if Russell Wilson is on point and he's doing his job, but if you have Melvin Gordon, you give him the handoff like at least like 10 carries and he's fumbling once or twice in them, that doesn't help, man. That doesn't help. It's like you're holding your breath. Is this the one? Is this the one?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the offense has a lot of issues, but I will say their offense is in a better position than the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy as it sounds because of the fact that I saw a stat where Hunter Refno, Devontae Adams, and Waller played like a little bit together. They haven't played that much together at all this season because they've been hurt at different points in time. And it hasn't been Adams. It's mostly been Renfro and Waller. I think they only played 4 games together this entire season. That's it. That's it. Because when I went to draft it, I was like, okay, Devontae Adams is going over there. Renfro has had literally 1,000-yard seasons without Adams in there and just him and Waller. With Devontae Adams in there, I was like, yo, this man's going to blow up. My man was putting decent numbers up. Then he got concussed. And I was just like, damn, it's just not a good one for him. Because the thing was, I have to watch a Raider game. I've been saying I have to watch a Raider game because I feel Derek Carr is literally trying to force that ball to Devontae Adams. He's trying to be like a Aaron Rodgers. And that's fine. You have a weapon like Devontae Adams, use him. But the fact is, you have a player, Hunter Renfrow, who you know you can catch the ball. And you have a tight end like Waller, who you know can catch the ball. Throw the ball to them. They're going to have single coverage at least. Or they're going to play like somebody where they can beat their man. Force the double coverage off of Adams by spreading the ball around. Like I don't get it. Like I have to watch a Raider game to see if that's what he's doing. If he's forcing to Devontae or not, I need to watch a game because I have a feeling that's what he's doing, and that's why he's having a horrible season. He's being too dependent on Devontae Adams. That's how I feel.
Uh,
I don't know. Like I said, I have to watch a Raider game to confirm it or not. If there's any Raider fans out there and you've been watching these games of Derek Carr playing, is he forcing the ball at Devontae Adams? Especially when Renfro and Waller were in the game. Has he been forcing them to Devontae Adams or not? All right, next game. The Cowboys at the Vikings.
um, this is an interesting game. This is a very interesting game. It's in Minnesota. Um, the Cowboys are coming off of a loss to the Packers. Uh, But a lot of people have the Cowboys winning this game. I think last thing I saw was the Cowboys were slated with like a 66 to a 70% chance to win this game. And I mean, the Vikings are 7-1, or I think they're 7-1. I think they're one game back. So I mean,
You're 8-1.
8-1. There you go, 8-1 is right.
They're tied with the Eagles. As crazy as that sounds.
Yeah. So I again though it's the Cowboys, and I know that they're good for taking like winning a couple of these games, and I think they. I don't want to go Cowboys here, but again, there's another one. It's not a upset or anything by any means. Not an upset. I'm going to go Vikings here. I'm going to cautiously go Vikings here because I think the Cowboys are going to try and bounce back after that loss. The Vikings are a solid team. Like they're a solid team, and Justin Jefferson is proving to be one of, if not the best receiver in the league. Adam Thielen's, back to being a nice what's it called, complimentary piece on the outside. They're getting some tight end production. Dalvin Cook is running the ball. The offensive lines looked better in the past few weeks. And defensively, I mean, they don't really have like stars to speak of, not at least that I can think of off the top of my head. But I mean, Harrison Smith is playing well, and the defense is just playing their game. So they're just playing good football right now, and in a good portion of the season. So I'm going to go Vikings here, but I wouldn't be too surprised if the Cowboys end up pulling this one out. What do you got?
I got. Wait, who do you have again?
I'm taking the Vikings.
Okay, sorry, I was just trying to write that in. That's why you see my camera. Turn my camera off by accident.
Titans are winning 14-9 right now, by the way.
Nice. Nice. This was, to me, this was a little tough one because it's like Dak had a bad game last week, and I kind of figured he would have one because he's coming back from that thumb injury. It's like, okay, so how long before he gets in his groove again? And the Vikings are like a solid team, but the issue you have when you go in like 8-1 or you barely lose is, especially when you get into the playoffs, is like you have this mystique about you. So it's like you feel fine and then you just hit a wall. I want to say the Vikings are for real, but I just don't have faith in Kirk Cousins. Like I just don't. Kirk Cousins doesn't like, I don't know. I'm not convinced he's a quarterback that will lead you to the Super Bowl. He will win you games in the season, but in the playoffs, he'll just like, bleh. I'm just trying to figure out what Cowboys team are we going to see here because they themselves have been inconsistent too. Granted that they didn't have Dak, but still they're 6-3 compared to the Vikings 8-1. So I kind of want to reach here and go for the Cowboys, to be honest.
I don't think it's a reach. It's the Cowboys. They're gonna play their game. They're gonna, as long as they don't fall behind too like fast or anything, they're gonna play the game. Like I said, we can hate the Cowboys. I don't. I mean, you don't have to hate them, but I know I don't like them.
Yeah,
But
it's just one of those where like it's like I
they're
don't know.
gonna
I feel
try to
like
bounce
there's
back after losing to the Packers in Green Bay. They're gonna go on their little road tour. They're going up to Minnesota, and I I wouldn't, like I said, I wouldn't be surprised if they win this game. I really wouldn't. But I'm going to just give it to the Vikings right now. I think they're playing a good brand of football, and they just knocked off the Bills, which a lot of us thought were going to just be rolling through the league, and the Bills are sitting at 6-3 right now. So I
yeah,
want to give it to the Vikings, even though, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me in the least if the Cowboys won this one.
yeah. Bengals at the Steelers.
Hey, Brett, you still watching?
He's watching that
uh,
Titans game.
oh man, I'm going Bengals this game. One because I have Joe Burrow in fantasy, and two because I have Joe Mixon in fantasy. So I need both. Oh, sorry, and three because I have T Higgins in fantasy. So I need them all to have a field day. In order for that, I need them to put up points. So I'm gonna go Bengals. At this point, the Bengals are just a better team. Everybody knows that right now. The Steelers, we all know historically are a good team. Everybody knows the lore and the history of the Steelers. We all understand that. But right now, this is the Bengals division. They're the best team in that division. They're better than the Steelers. They're better than the Browns. They're better than the Ravens. They're playing some high-powered football. Like I said, we talked about before, they have a three-headed monster at receiver. Tyler Boyd is really good in the slot. It's very underrated in the slot. Higgins, if Higgins can stay healthy, and him and Jamar Chase on the outsides are damn near unstoppable. They're still getting good tight end production. I can't even remember. I don't know who their tight end is. I see different people that are week to week, but I know they do well.
Who's
Their tight end is good. I mean, their
Bengals?
offensive line playing better. Yeah, the Bengals tight end.
Hayden Hurst.
Oh yeah, I think we feel like there's somebody else. I thought somebody else. I feel like I saw another name up there, but
Last year
anyway,
there was, and he went to the Jets.
yeah, that was Uzoba. I know that, but like I said, the offensive line's playing well. Their running back, Joe Mixon is a top five back in the league. Mixon's a top five back in the league all day to me. And I mean, even behind him, I believe they still have P. Ryan behind him. P. Ryan's no slouch either. And then again, defensively, they're better than two. The Steelers are 2-6. Pickett's gonna be he's a rookie quarterback. It's a work in progress. The running game for the Steelers is a little inconsistent. Najee Harris hasn't been this year where everybody expected him to be. Then again, it could be a sophomore slump like it usually is. Jalen Warren's been getting more touches. And for everything I've been seeing, he's gonna continue to get more and more touches as the season goes along, as long as he keeps developing and keeps producing. Um, and defensively, they're just banged up. They're a little old up front with like Cam Hayward. And like I said, I think the Steelers, it's just a down year for them. That's okay. Every team has an ebb and flow. Every team has an up and down. And the Steelers have been up so long. The Steelers have been up since I can really remember. Like, and Tomlin's been one of the most tenured coaches in the league for a reason because they've been up so long. So even if they have a down year this year, that's fine. They shouldn't get rid of Tomlin. They just have to keep building that team back up. They'll be back up before we all know it. But as of now, I understand it's a division game. I understand it's a division rivalry. I understand both these teams hate each other. But the Bengals are just playing at another level right now that I don't think the Steelers have a chance of matching. So I'm going Bengals here.
All right. So the Bengals are 5-4, right? Of those 4 losses, 3 of them have been within the conference. One of them has been towards the Steelers. I'm taking the Steelers. They may have the better record in the division. I don't think the division. They don't have the best record playing in the division. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're 0-3. So I'm taking the Steelers because I think the Bengals might be good outside of their division, but when it comes within it, they're not. So I'm going with the Steelers on this one. I just think
When did the Bengals play those games?
Let me see. That was when they lost to the Steelers. That was a home game.
When? What week?
That was week 1. They lost to the Ravens week 5 in a road game. They lost to the Browns week 8 in a road game as well.
Like I said, I think that's when we were talking about Super Bowl hangover. That's what I was talking about. That week 1 shit to the Steelers. I remember how ugly they looked in that game.
Yeah, they lost to the Cowboys that week, the following week too, which is their other loss. And granted, I understand what you're saying, but it's the fact that of their 4 losses, 3 of them were within a division, and it's not like they were all like in a span of 1 month. They were spread out. So
yeah, I get that,
and I understand. Like, yeah, that was the first game of the season, and they look bad, but that was a home game. Now you're playing in Pittsburgh, and I just the terrible towels, man.
I think they just.
And Joe Burrow is my quarterback too in fantasy, so it's like in my main one. And again, I don't want him to I want him to succeed, but I just don't like this matchup for him. So right now, I'm like literally hoping that the rest of my players can actually pick up the slack because I am not putting Derek Carr in there because in Derek Carr I have no faith. Anybody wants to give me back a tip for Derek Carr, I'm okay with it as long as it's Funyuns or Doritos or maybe like Fritos barbecue. We good.
You're getting asking for a lot of choices here.
Hey man, if it comes down to, I'll just go like, hey, just give me the Ruffles with the ridges, and we good. We good.
Listen, I understand. I get it. I definitely get it. But I think these past couple weeks, the Bengals have been playing a better brand of football, and I think it's going to be. I understand you're in Acrisure Stadium. I hate that. I was going ready to call it Heinz Field.
I
I
can't get used to it. I'm used to Heinz Field.
I know. I understand you're in Pittsburgh. I get it. But I just don't think that their defense is going to have an answer for that offense. That's really what it comes down to for me. I don't think they're going to have a. I don't think they're going to have an answer. But we'll see.
Yep. And next game, Chiefs at the Chargers.
This one's interesting because the Chiefs are human this year. Like this makes this game very interesting. And like you said, now if Keenan Allen and Mike Williams come back, that makes this game even more interesting. And the Chiefs are gonna play, and the Chiefs are away. That's really like the biggest trifecta for me. Those three things. They're away. Herbie should get two of his best weapons back, and they're home. Again, the Chargers haven't been playing their best football this year. They struggled to the Falcons, I believe it was last week. The Falcons are somebody last week. It was such a struggle for them. Their defense is Swiss cheese. Besides their secondary, I mean, Derwin James is a freak. That kid, he's something else. I like their linebackers. I like Kenneth Murray. He's been good, not great. Drew Tranquil has been okay. Obviously Khalil's Khalil, but I know they released Jerry Tillery. That was their former first round pick. They released him, and the Raiders picked him up. Hey, look at that. I'm gonna go KC here. But I feel like Herbie's due for a good game, and I think if not, this game is coming at some point. I'm not saying he hasn't been playing well, but he hasn't been the Herbie that was an animal last year. And again, he's been down weapons. His O-line's in flux. I understand. But I'm waiting for him to have like a Justin Herbert game, like a statement game. And we said the Chiefs have been human. The Chiefs have lost multiple games this year. So it may be a close one, maybe a shootout. It could be like a 40-39 game. I'm gonna go Chiefs here, but I expect this to be like a high scoring affair.
Really?
I do. I don't see much of a defense to speak of in either team.
I think, but when you look at defense, I think the Chiefs, their defense might edge out the Chargers one just a little bit. But again, like you said, I agree. To me though, the biggest key factor is Herbie going to get both of his receivers, top two receivers back? If he gets both of them, that's a game changer. If he gets one, it doesn't matter which one it is. If he gets one of them, it's like, okay, maybe, you know what I'm saying? Slight, maybe. But if he gets both of them, definitely is a game changer. I'm going to stick with the Chiefs on this one as well because of the fact that that's a big maybe going into Sunday.
And
it's like, again, Michael Williams, I think his was an ankle. I can't remember Keenan Allen's injury. But I remember Michael's was an ankle. So I'm going with the Chiefs on this one. There's too many ifs with the Chargers, with the receivers. And those are big ifs because those are his big weapons, you know. And if they're not there, it's going to be like the Chiefs' defense is not great as it is. But if you don't have any weapons to like create separation and to kind of pick apart that defense, you're not gonna be successful.
That's what I'm saying.
Eckler's gonna have a game, but
He
will it
always
be
does.
enough? Yeah, but will it be enough to carry them over the line? And I doubt it because you have Mahomes over there, and Kadarius Toney had a freaking game and a half for them.
Yeah, his second game was pretty good. I mean,
Yeah, so if
like
he keeps that up, like, yeah,
the,
so
the Chiefs just the Chiefs just have it like an embarrassment of weapons, you know?
yeah,
Like they just have an embarrassment of weapons. You sit up here and you have a McCole Hardman just went on IR, but I mean you got Tony and you got you got Kelsey and honestly naming those two, nothing else really matters. But then you throw in a Juju Smith Schuster, who's back in a good role for him being a number two or
yeah,
being a slot guy. And then you can do any you can put any running back there you want. Honestly, you can go with Edwards-Helaire, who's been falling off the past couple of weeks because Isaiah Pacheco, the rookie running back for Rutgers, is having himself a season.
mhm.
And then you still have Jerick McKinnon. So I mean, they still have weapons. They still make everybody's like a matchup nightmare over there. So like it's Juju, not even Juju. Derwin James is gonna have uh he's gonna have to have himself a day because he's probably gonna be guarding Travis Kelsey a good portion of the game. I can see. So when you got him and Kenneth Murray's gonna have to match up with somebody too. Murray might have some time. We have to go guard Kelsey too. So I don't know. Like you said, it's gonna be a good game, but I don't see the Chargers hanging with the Chiefs offense. And I
Yeah.
believe we're at our last game. I believe we're at our last matchup.
Yes, we are.
Oh,
The Niners at the
okay.
Cardinals.
Where you got? Where you go? You go first.
All right, I'm going with the Niners because the addition of CMC was a big one for them, and I don't know if Kyler Murray's watching his videos as he's supposed to.
That man probably is still not studying for anything.
No, he's playing Call of Duty, man.
He's probably playing Fortnite with
It,
Dembele.
well, no, especially now because like the new Call of Duty, like they just the last release, they're literally you can now prestige, and they open up Warzone 2.0, and there's something called DMZ and something called Shoot House, I think it was. They opened up a lot on this last
You're
update.
speaking a foreign language to me right now. I haven't played a video game in like 6 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's all right.
I haven't played a Call of Duty in about 2 years. You're speaking foreign languages to me right now.
So I play when I can with my friends and stuff like that. So
I'm gonna agree with you though.
but my
I'm
messages are
going
blowing up.
Niners here.
My messages are blowing up because of this new came out. So um, I just got more faith in the Niners right now because it's like they're getting back together and they're finding their groove now towards the right time, like literally at the halfway point. Past that halfway point, you're literally finding your groove. So now it's like, okay, can you stay healthy? You know, and they just got to stop giving a damn ball to Debo Smith on a running play. Like, let him run and catch the ball.
Debo
Like, you have,
Samuel.
yeah, like you got CMC to go out there. Like, he is your trickster back there. You don't need Debo back there no more to run the ball out of the backfield anymore like that. Like,
I mean, I don't mind that you give the ball to your best player. I mean, debatably it's Debo, debatably it's CMC, but the Niners are another team that is creeping up on having a plethora of weapons. I mean, you got
yeah,
Debo, you got CMC, you got a kid Jawan Jennings he's actually pretty underrated to me. I like that kid. He's a possession guy, but he's gritty and tough. He goes and gets the ball. And then you got Brandon Ayuk, who's I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think he's gonna be as good as he's been so far. I know him out of college out of Arizona State. He's been playing pretty well too. And then I mean, you got Kittle, and everybody's waiting to see what Kittle does this year, if anything. I mean, if nothing else, the guy's an extra blocker because he's a man. He's an animal, and when it comes to blocking. So, if nothing else, you have good pass pro out of that guy. But if Kittle can get back to the Kittle of a year or two, you know, you'll have a problem on your hands, especially in that division, because the Cardinals ain't that good this year. This might be over. This might be it for Cliff Kingsbury. And then, like you said, the Rams. are at the bottom, or the Rams and the Cardinals are probably just battling to get out of the basement of the division. So I'm gonna agree with you, and I'm gonna go Niners on this one over the Cardinals, even though it is in Arizona. Um, I the main thing, the biggest thing is, and I'm not gonna say there's gonna be some factors going to sway him either way. Hollywood Brown, I believe, is coming back off of IR,
Mhm.
so that is going to give Kyler a weapon opposite of D Hop. Zach Ertz being out for the Cardinals definitely does hurt them, but they do have rookie tight end Trey McBride, and everybody's been waiting to see if he's going to be able to do anything. So I mean, they do still have some pieces. They got James Conner. Everybody was surprised with the release of Eno Benjamin. That was very surprising. But
Yeah.
I mean, the Cardinals have pieces. They just right now they can't put it together right now.
This is
Like,
actually a big game for them though. Like for the
yeah,
Cards, because the Cards are 4-6, and Niners are 5-4. The Seahawks, who are having on the bye week, as we mentioned earlier, are 6-4. If the Cards can win this game, they tie with the Niners in second place at 500 at 5-5. Sorry, they're 5-6. So wait, yeah. So they're a game up. They're 5-6. Sorry, they're 5-6. The Niners are 5-5, and the Seahawks are 5-6-4, and they have one game already done. So everybody else has catch up to them. But if they can win this, they're literally right there with the Niners at 5 wins. You know what I mean?
mm,
And they just literally a game behind the Seahawks. But if they lose this game and fall to 4-7, and the Niners literally tie the Seahawks, then it's not good for the Cards.
that's I don't know what's gonna happen with I don't know what's gonna happen with Kingsbury after this year. That's the only thing. Like, I don't know if his job is safe after this year. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Niners on this one. Like you said, I think they're playing good football at the right time of the season. They can hit the play. They can hit the. Hopefully, they just keep trending in the right direction. They roll straight into the playoffs, and we'll see what happens from there. Because again, they have solid pieces, and from the stats I've seen, Jimmy G's not playing bad. So I have to
No,
look more into that to be sure. But I don't know. I think that CMC pickup was huge,
it was.
huge.
It was for them. It was a game changer because it literally you could live like I said. You could literally just leave Debo playing wide receiver. Like yes, he's your best player, but if you keep him out of the backfield and just put him out to run the ball, maybe some postings, maybe a skinny post, maybe like somewhere in the middle. That's fine. He's taking those hits, but he's not literally going through those over 300-pound linemen that are literally going to eat him up. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You add longevity to his career, which is why he wanted to get out of San Francisco because he's like, yo, I don't want to be running out of the backfield. Like I'm a receiver. I don't need to be running out of there. I'm running into these over 300-pound linemen about to eat me up, gobble me up. Going back to the Cardinals, the reason why I say it's a big one because they have the Niners this week, the Chargers the week after that. Then they're on the bye on week 13. When they come out of the bye, they host the Patriots. Then they go over to Denver for the Broncos. They host the Buccaneers. They visit the Falcons, and they end the season against the Niners. So literally, they have just 2 more divisional games, which is both against the Niners. So that's why this is a big one. You
I
know,
don't know.
the Cards are the Cards and the Cliff Kingsbury, and I can't say Kyler Murray is in a hot seat because they literally extended his contract and he got paid. And I don't know if anybody's going to take him if he goes on the market.
I doubt it on that contract.
Yeah, yeah. So we'll see what happens on Sunday after all these games are done and played.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Let's wrap this up.
All right. So that's our picks and
Anything?
previews for this week.
Got a hot take for me, Paul?
If the Bill, all right. So if the Bills do happen to lose to the Browns, it's going to be interesting to see what happens because that becomes 3 in a row for them. That's a 3-game losing streak for them, and how they're going to handle that and how they're going to come back out at week 12. Like, because this is a Bills team that a lot of people had slated either to win the Super Bowl, make it to the Super Bowl, or just even be in the AFC Championship game. Like, that's a lot to ask for a team. And after we saw the Chiefs, like, you know what I'm saying? They improved, but they didn't, like, they're not the Chiefs before when they won Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
The Bills are literally like, okay, it's the Bills and who else? Who's going to play the Bills in the AFC Championship? So if
we all thought Bills and Chiefs in the game.
Yeah. So if the Browns pull off this win, like I'm thinking, it's like, okay, where do the Bills go from here? You know? And to go back to our buddy or our friend Koitoy, where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? All right. If this happens, right, that's going to be interesting as well. It's one thing to lose to the Commanders. It's another thing to lose to the Colts, not just because of the Colts, but because they also have injury woes. So it's not the same Colts team. And I think they're benching Matt Ryan again, or I don't know, because they're playing QB carousel so crazy.
We don't even know. We don't even know because
they're probably going to call either Eddie George or Ryan Leaf to come back, or freaking what's it, Phillip Rivers,
George?
Jeff George. Yeah, sorry, Jeff George, Ryan Leaf, or what's it called, Phillip Rivers.
They benched Ellinger. They benched Ellinger for Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan had a decent game, and then so I think Jeff Saturday is just probably gonna make it a game time thing. I don't think they named the starting quarterback yet. I assume it's gonna be Matt Ryan, but I don't know. Remains to be seen. So we'll see what happens with that.
Yeah, if Bailey, I thought it was Coy. If Bailey is right on this one, I'm gonna laugh. I mean, I'm not taking out of the realm. I mean, any given Sunday, anything can happen.
We might have to give Bailey some. We might have to give Bailey some stock of the company if they win. Something. Give Bailey some stock. Send Bailey a shirt. Do something.
Yeah, we literally almost like agreed on a lot of these picks because like the Broncos and Raiders and Broncos is like it's which one is not as bad as the other team.
Yeah, pick your poison for real. Like
yeah, like the man's like was kind of easy, you know. But it's like other games where it's like, you know, Cowboys, Vikings, not Bills and Browns, but like, no, we actually, damn, I'm looking at this list again. Like, we literally agree on a majority of these. The ones we disagreed on, the Bears, Falcons, Browns, and Bills, and that was it. Vikings, Cowboys, and Bengals, Steelers. That's not many that we disagreed on. It's just, it got down, like, we said at the beginning of the season, like, the beginning of the season is like, okay, we're going to differentiate, but at a certain point, like, you know who is who.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna be different just to make it interesting, but it's like, like it's like I'm not gonna sit here and pick the Texans to beat the Chiefs every week or the Bills to beat every week. Like I'm just not gonna do it. Like
I'll be different if I feel like I said, I think the Steelers have a chance to beat the Bengals because the Bengals are 0-3 in the division. They haven't won a divisional game yet. So I'll give the Steelers a puncher's chance at that point.
Right, and I picked the Bengals just because I'm like, I think they're playing better football now. I think they've been the best team in the division the entire year. I think they just haven't been able to play up to it. But I think now they're getting into it. So I think they're going to win now. So
yeah. Real quick, stay tuned. World Cup previews coming up soon. Try and get it posted before the first game kickoff on Sunday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Try and have them all posted on Sunday. You can watch it, you know, and see. Also going to get some 10 young players to be keep an eye out, which for FIFA is if they're 21 at the beginning of the tournament, because there's an award for that. So I'm giving you 10 players that I think you should keep an eye out to win that award, and 10 players to look out as the best player of the tournament. You might have to see some surprises, but if you're really deep into the soccer and the football, you'll really won't be surprised with some of these names because of how they're coming into the tournament. So that should be fun. After that, I think it's been a nice 5-week vacation that we've had, and we should be back now.
Life gets in the way, but
Yeah,
we'll
coaching.
wrap this up. As always, thanks for watching. Thanks for the commentary tonight. It was awesome as always. It was a nice Thursday night. Have a good Friday, guys. Thanks for watching as always. Check us out on YouTube. Subscribe. Try to push for those first 100 subscribers. Other than that, that's all I can say. Oh, check us out on TikTok now. We're old people, so we're late to the party. We understand. We're old.
Don't expect me to do no dance. I ain't doing no dance on TikTok.
No, we're not doing no dances. But check us out for all your sports highlights. We'll post some hot takes that we have. Maybe I'll put my hot take up here tonight. I don't know. But that's it. I think it was a good show. Enjoy your night, people. Enjoy your night. Enjoy your night.
Go Titans.
Oh, I think it's 20-17 right now.
There you
Something
go.
like that. Yeah. All right, Paul, take us out.
All right,